And then now this whole P. Diddy thing.
Sometimes you have to tell Diddy no.
Oh, man, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
Sean Diddy Combs' alleged list of accomplices to be revealed soon. The names will shock you, attorney says. Whoa.
I think he's going to sing, I think
he has to sing or he
bro,
goes
also,
to
I'll
jail
tell you
for the
one
rest of his
thing.
life. Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
It is day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, she is one of Combs' many accusers, testifying as a central witness.
Is she ready?
Very ready and confident. Thank you.
Among other things, the singer is expected to address the 2016 video of Combs attacking her in a hotel when she was his girlfriend.
The entertainment world is reeling as shocking details emerge from Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial, where explosive testimony and damning video evidence have turned what was already a scandal into something far more disturbing.
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is sex trafficking, racketeering, and more. The two sides are now in the process of selecting a jury of 12 plus alternate.
Ben Chu, you put Johnny Depp on the stand. It's always a high-risk strategy. It worked for you. If you were representing Sean Diddy Combs, would you put him up?
Well, we put Johnny up because he was telling the truth. So that was a very easy decision to make, and he had the burden of proof, and frankly, we couldn't have stopped him even if we wanted to, but we didn't want to. Telling the truth as he did over several days, you're not telling the truth, skilled attorneys on the other side are going to puncture that. I believe in that system. I think in this case, I don't think he's got any choice. Given that video, he's got to explain it. He's got to say that he's terribly sorry for it, but that was an aberration. That's not who he is. He simply has to say that.
What happened in that Manhattan courtroom has everyone talking. And trust us, this is one story you won't believe. Let's start with the bombshell that had everyone gasping. Cassie Ventura finally took the stand.
With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday. But they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant.
There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday.
What role do you think it's possible Christian Combs could play in his father's criminal case?
The government loves superseding indictments. The government loves indicting your relatives. Why? Nothing is worse. Right now, Diddy's sitting in a jail cell. What could be worse? The thought of your son also sitting in a jail cell.
I think that if we're talking about additional charges and additional defendants, those are probably two of the more likely. And Christian, of course, was the subject of a civil lawsuit where there was a sexual allegation naming him directly.
The government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise, and they actually named it in the indictment, the Combs Enterprise.
The former Bad Boy Records artist and Diddy's ex-girlfriend didn't hold back as she described what she called freak-offs, meticulously orchestrated private gatherings where Diddy allegedly controlled every single detail. He enjoyed watching me with others, Cassie revealed, her voice noticeably shaking as she recounted experiences that clearly still haunt her. She described how Diddy dictated everything from the lighting in the room to the specific acts performed, even down to the amount of baby oil we had to apply so our bodies would glisten to his liking. Talk about disturbing.
Mr. Depp built a reputation as one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. A respected artist whose name was associated with success at the box office. Today, his name is associated with a lie.
These weren't just occasional events either. According to Cassie, these freak-offs would last between 36 to 72 hours, sometimes extending to 4 full days, and happen on a weekly basis. She described them as a mandatory part of my life, and detailed how she was coerced into organizing them, recruiting participants through platforms like Craigslist or professional services, arranging their travel to locations across the country. The courtroom fell silent as Cassie explained how Diddy allegedly controlled not just the participants but every aspect of these gatherings, from the professional stage lighting to the requirement that participants use illicit substances. I remember once before a freak-off I had to text him to ask which pills should I take from your bag.
That
I mean,
speech was terrible.
like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out.
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is sex trafficking, racketeering, and more. The two sides are now in the process of selecting a jury of 12 plus alternate.
She testified. And he replied telling me exactly which one. But here's where the entertainment world is reeling as shocking details emerge from Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial, where explosive testimony and damning video evidence have turned what was already a scandal into something far more disturbing.
She walked in there, Rachel. She had on a brown dress, form-fitting, visibly pregnant, head held high, and did not make any eye contact with the defendant, with Sean Combs. She said that Sean Combs directed everything from what she had on to the lighting in the room to how she was supposed to interact with the person that she was having sex with. And again, just to reiterate what is a freak-off, the freak-off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism, wanting to watch her have sex with someone else. And she said that she did it because she was 22, 21. She was young. She didn't know any better, and that she wanted to please Sean Combs.
Among other things, the singer is expected to address the 2016 video of Combs attacking her in a hotel when she was his girlfriend. Combs has pleaded not guilty. His attorneys argue the video is evidence of jealousy, not sex trafficking. And now for the first time, jurors are hearing what Cassie has to say about that and other aspects of their 10-year relationship.
With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday. But they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant.
There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday.
What role do you think it's possible Christian Combs could play in his father's criminal case?
The government loves superseding indictments. The government loves indicting your relatives. Why? Nothing is worse. Right now, Diddy's sitting in a jail cell. What could be worse? The thought of your son also sitting in a jail cell.
I think that if we're talking about additional charges and additional defendants, those are probably two of the more likely. And Christian, of course, was the subject of a civil lawsuit where there was a sexual allegation naming him directly.
The government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise, and they actually named it in the indictment, the Combs Enterprise.
What happened in that Manhattan courtroom has everyone talking. And trust us, this is one story you won't believe. Let's start with the bombshell that had everyone gasping. Cassie Ventura finally took the stand. The former Bad Boy Records artist and Diddy's ex-girlfriend didn't hold back as she described what she called freak-offs. Meticulously orchestrated private gatherings where Diddy allegedly controlled every single detail. He enjoyed watching me with others, Cassie revealed, her voice noticeably shaking as she recounted experiences that clearly still haunt her. She described how Diddy dictated everything from the lighting in the room to the specific acts performed, even down to the amount of baby oil we had to apply so our bodies would glisten to his liking. Talk about disturbing. These weren't just occasional events either. According to Cassie, these freak-offs would last between 36 to 72 hours, sometimes extending to 4 full days, and happened on a weekly basis.
The defense is going to say is that this wasn't blackmail, this was not coercion, this was consensual. We know that Cassie started out with Sean Combs as an early person, with someone who is trying to get her career started, and he was going to help her. That's what the defense is going to say, that she was starting out and wanted someone to support her. They did their first record deal together. That's something I think the defense is going to focus on, and had it not been for Sean Combs, she wouldn't be where she is right now. The prosecution obviously is saying he was in control. It may have started out as a consensual. It may have started out with her being excited about seeing him, but ultimately he took control of that relationship. He took control of her career. This is their key witness, and she's on that stand trying to explain all of the charges that the prosecution wants to hit home with that jury.
No, there was a moment early on when Cassie mentioned Dallas Austin, who she called a friend who's a producer. So I don't know if that's someone that we're going to hear from. We know that there were pictures shown to prospective jurors that are well-known celebrities, you know, Kanye West, Kid Cudi, Lauren London. We don't know, though, how they fit yet into why they were even asked, do you know these people? Are you familiar with them?
So the prosecution is questioning Cassie right now, still questioning her.
The defense hasn't even got a chance to, I mean, that might change based on the timing, but, you know, because she's such a key witness, it's likely that she will be on that stand the rest of the day. We learned that Cassie referred to him as Pop Pop, and Sean Combs would refer to her as CC. The prosecution says, what does CC stand for? She said Cassie Combs.
What kind of witness is Cassie coming off as to the jurors?
I think naturally when you look at her visually, people see that she's pregnant and looking like she's due any day now. So they might, you know, have empathy, sympathy for her in that way, but we don't really know. We know that they've been instructed to be fair and impartial. As to what type of witness she's coming off as, she's describing someone that she was, someone she said that was trying to figure out who she was at that time and who she was allowed to be. Now you're looking at somebody that's almost 40 years old, totally different person, but even in describing what was going on at her at that time, taking drugs, trying to please Sean Combs, she's really just sort of laying out the case for her not having a lot of control. So I think that's the takeaway. This is someone who is making it very clear that at that particular time in her life, she says she did not have any control really over what she wore, what she did, who she was having sex with. She's a different person now. But I think when she talks about those details and even reflecting on them for herself, as we saw today, she broke down on that court.
She described them as a mandatory part of my life and detailed how she was coerced into organizing them, recruiting participants through platforms like Craigslist or professional services, arranging their travel to locations across the country. The courtroom fell silent as Cassie explained how Diddy allegedly controlled not just the participants but every aspect of these gatherings, from the professional stage lighting to the requirement that participants use illicit substances. I remember once before a freak-off I had to text him to ask which pills should I take from your bag, she testified. And he replied telling me exactly which one. But here's where things took an even more dramatic turn. In an unexpected twist, Diddy's children, Chance, Delilah, Jesse, and Justin, showed up at the courthouse, supposedly to show support for their father. Insider whispers suggest Diddy had actually forbidden them from attending, hoping to shield them from the damaging revelation.
I seen that too. I seen uncomfortable to my eyes situations for sure. That I don't rock with, you heard me? That's all. I don't rock with it, you know?
And when you would see these celebrities at these parties, they was cool with the environment. They was cool with everything.
Absolutely. Having a ball. Like it was 1999. So I don't know, bro. I'm talking about celebrities. I'm talking about big time celebrities. You dig? I was just young city. I was just chopper, you heard me? But to see like the juggernauts, the big dogs, you dig? The people we grew up watching, it was kind of exciting too. It was weird, exciting, and because you can't believe that you're here. You know, they are accepting you. But I don't really think they was accepting it. They just was fucking having fun. They ain't give a fuck who was there. And it was kind of like a situation towards, you know, what you see in here don't go outside. It was kind of like that, if that makes sense. Whatever happens in here stays in here because everybody got something to lose in here. So it was kind of like that too. So I guess that made people be okay and willingly able to do whatever they wanted to do in there. You heard me? Because they knew that at the end of the day, it wasn't going to come back out up there. That's why people were so eager and fun to do what they wanted to do in there. Just my opinion. Because everybody has something to lose.
What's especially intriguing is the role Diddy's sons might have played in this courtroom drama. While Delilah and Jesse fled the room in tears, Chance and Justin remained, their expressions reportedly cold and unreadable as they stared at their father. This has sparked speculation about possible tensions within the Combs family that may have been brewing for years. Sources close to the family suggest that Justin, Diddy's eldest son with Misa Hilton, may have orchestrated the entire situation.
One of the producers over there at MTV at the time, who was super cool guy. He actually had the camera walking with us, you heard me, to Brooklyn to get the cheesecake. The first Art Dialogue interview, you heard me, that I did, he DM'd me, and I definitely talked to him. He was like, "Yeah, bruh, how you been, Chop?" I'm like, I'm straight, bruh. Appreciate you hitting me. Long time. He like, "Yeah, bruh, I appreciate your interview, you heard me, that you did on Art of Dialogue." I said, "Thank you, I appreciate you, bruh." And he was like, "You ever notice why I was shooting with y'all and then all of a sudden you haven't seen me after that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because one time Diddy invited me to his office and told me to suck his dick." And he was like, he said, "I damn near wanted to kill him, bro." He was like, I left the office and I quit." And so it don't, with the curse situation, you know, it don't sound far-fetched from what I've heard. You dig? I haven't ever encountered that type of situation with Diddy. Thank you, universe, because I would be in jail right now, facing life or doing life. But I haven't encountered that type of Diddy, you dig? But I don't know, bruh. If it walk like a duck and talk like a duck, obviously, it might be a duck. It might be true, bruh. That is considered sexual harassment, Sarah. I think that's considered sexual harassment, not what Sarah tried to do. You dig? So with the Kirk situation, I don't know. It just don't sound far-fetched. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. I haven't experienced that with Diddy, so I can't, I can't be like the people that exaggerate and say things that's not true. All I can say is 100 things from my experience. And my results for that answer is it don't sound far-fetched.
Allegedly, Justin approached his half-sister Chance, who has always felt somewhat removed from the family core as the daughter of Sarah Chapman, not Kim Porter, and planted seeds of doubt about their father. "Have you ever wondered who Dad really is?" Justin reportedly asked Chance in a private conversation. He supposedly shared stories about controversial parties and Diddy's alleged manipulation of those in his inner circle, including Kim Porter. These conversations allegedly stirred up buried pain for Chance, who then reached out to Delilah and Jesse, convincing them to attend the trial without revealing the full extent of what might be revealed. Even more shocking are rumors that Justin might have been involved in ensuring the damning video reached Cassie's legal team. While this remains unconfirmed, it would explain why the Combs children appeared in court precisely when this devastating evidence was presented. The calculated nature of these events has everyone talking. If true, it suggests a power struggle within the Combs family that has been simmering beneath the surface for years. Justin, described by those who know him as a sharp, cold strategist, may have been planning this moment of reckoning for his father for quite some time. During cross-examination, Diddy's attorney tried to paint Cassie as a willing participant who enjoyed the lavish lifestyle Diddy provided. "You signed a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Entertainment, you lived in luxury apartments, traveled the world, and attended extravagant gatherings," he pointed out. "Is it possible you willingly participated in these freak-offs to secure your place in Mr. Combs' world?" Cassie's response was unequivocal. "No. I didn't choose. I was coerced. What I received wasn't a reward, it was the price I paid to survive. He controlled everything, my career, my friends, even my thoughts." When Diddy's attorney attempted to suggest that Cassie had collaborated with Kim Porter to carry out these freak-offs, Cassie was quick to defend Porter's memory.
They also say they found recordings of freak-offs, and the evidence was then used to blackmail these women if they didn't cooperate more.
Diddy's longtime ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, filing a lawsuit against them last year that changed everything.
He would direct her how to touch
the sex worker, how to pour like oil over her body, and he would watch these things happen while he was masturbating.
Cassie Ventura's lawsuit gave the blueprint for the Southern District of New York to investigate Sean Combs, and the lawsuits that followed gave the brick and mortar to build the case against him.
One shocking freak-off the prosecutors allege the Diddy indictment occurring around this incident involving Cassie.
The new video obtained exclusively by CNN.
Prosecutors said there was a male prostitute still in their hotel room. That, prosecutors say, shows that Cassie was trying to get out, and prosecutors in court quoted messages from Cassie talking about the bruises, the fat lip that she was left with.
Initially, Diddy denied all wrongdoing, but after the surveillance video surfaced, he spoke out on his social media.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Diddy's defense team giving a preview of their version of what was happening behind the scenes.
The defense has tried to recast, not as evidence of sex trafficking, but as the simple breakdown of a 10-year loving relationship. And the judge interrupted and said, what's love got to do with that, with kicking someone?
No, she insisted. Kim was trapped just like me. We weren't complicit. We were victims of the same system. The revelation that Diddy allegedly recorded these freak-offs and used the recordings as insurance to control participants has added yet another disturbing layer to this already shocking case. According to Cassie, Diddy threatened to release compromising videos if she didn't comply with his demands. As the trial continues, the entertainment world is holding its collective breath. Social media is ablaze with speculation, with hashtags like #KimPorterTruth trending worldwide. The public is processing these revelations about power, manipulation, and control in an industry that often hides its darkest secrets behind glamorous facades. For Diddy's children, especially Delilah and Jesse, seeing their mother in that video has undoubtedly changed everything. The memory of Kim Porter, the woman who had always sheltered and loved them, has now been tainted by this disturbing footage. Why was Mom there? Jessie reportedly whispered to her sister as they fled the courtroom, a question that may never be fully answered. Meanwhile, Chance and Justin remain enigmatic figures in this family drama. Is Justin seeking justice for perceived wrongs? Is Chance searching for truth about the father she's always felt distant from? Or is there something even more complex at play within the Combs dynasty? What's clear is that this trial has become about far more than the allegations against Diddy. It has exposed fault lines within one of entertainment's most famous families and raised serious questions about power dynamics in the music industry. As one observer noted, this isn't just a trial, it's a tragedy. As the case unfolds, we'll undoubtedly learn more about what happened behind closed doors at those infamous gatherings. For now, the image of Diddy's daughters fleeing the courtroom in tears, unable to bear the sight of their mother in that compromising video, remains one of the most heartbreaking moments in recent celebrity trial history. Whatever the outcome of this trial, one thing is certain: the Combs family will never be the same again. And the entertainment industry is being forced to confront some uncomfortable truths about power, control, and the price some have paid for fame.